Hey everyone, and welcome to another deep dive. Today we're going to be looking at AI and mobile apps.
Okay.
We've got a really fascinating transcript here from the Let's Talk Tech podcast, and
Oh, cool.
yeah, it's really cool stuff, and it's something that's impacting all of us every day,
Yeah,
even if we don't realize it.
definitely. I mean, it's one of those things that has really kind of crept into our lives,
Yeah,
without us even really noticing.
yeah, it's true.
Like we're all using it every day without even thinking about it.
Yeah, it's not like robots taking over the world or anything.
Wow, not yet at least.
Right, but it's the way that our apps are getting smarter,
Right.
and they're getting more intuitive, and they're getting more personalized.
Exactly. And it's really incredible how far it's come.
Yeah.
We've gone from these really basic apps that just did what you told them
All right,
to these really sophisticated AI-powered apps that are learning our habits and our preferences.
Yeah. I remember the early days of mobile apps.
It was like, you tap a button and it did something and that was it.
Right. It was very basic, very straightforward.
Exactly.
But now it's like these apps are learning about us every time we use them.
Right.
Every tap, every swipe, every search. It's all data that they can use to tailor the experience.
So it's like they're watching everything we do.
In a way, yes. But it's all to make our lives easier and more convenient.
Okay, so how does that actually work?
Well, it all comes down to these AI algorithms.
Okay.
They can analyze huge amounts of user data.
Right.
Things like your browsing history, what you buy, even how long you linger on certain articles.
Wow.
And then they use all of that information to tailor content and offers specifically for you.
So it's more than just those people who bought this also bought that recommendation.
Oh yeah, it's way more sophisticated than that.
Okay.
Think about your news app, for example.
Okay.
How does it seem to know exactly what stories you're interested in?
Yeah, it's kind of creepy, actually.
Well, it's AI at work. It's curating a personalized feed based on your reading habits.
Oh.
So the more you use it, the better it gets at predicting what you'll want to read.
Huh. So it's like having a personal editor.
Exactly. And some of these algorithms are even tracking things like how long you spend reading an article,
Really?
or if you share it on social media.
Wow.
It's all to really fine-tune your feed and make sure you're seeing the content that you're most likely to engage with.
That's pretty impressive. I had no idea it was that sophisticated.
Yeah, it's really amazing how far AI has come.
So what about other apps besides news apps?
We'll take shopping apps, for example.
Oh, okay.
They're using AI to go beyond just basic recommendations.
Like,
Well, let's say you're browsing for a new pair of shoes.
okay.
The AI might consider your past purchases, sure, but it can also analyze the style and color preferences of other users who have similar tastes to you.
Okay.
And then it uses that information to suggest something you might not have even considered before.
So it's not just people who bought this also bought that. It's taking into account a much wider range of data points.
Exactly. It's looking at patterns and trends across a huge data set to make those recommendations.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, and it's just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to AI's impact.
So what else is there?
Well, we're also seeing huge advancements in natural language processing, or NLP for short.
NLP.
Yeah, that's what allows apps to understand and respond to human language.
Oh, so it's like the tech behind Siri and Alexa.
Exactly. Those voice assistants that we've all come to rely on are powered by NLP.
I've got to admit, I used to think those were just gimmicks.
I know a lot of people did.
And I find myself using them more and more.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
It's just so much easier to speak a command than to navigate through menus.
Yeah, definitely.
And NLP is getting better all the time.
So it's like we're actually talking to our phones now.
In a way, yes, and that conversational capability is changing how we interact with our devices.
So it's not just voice assistants then.
No, NLP is being used in all sorts of ways.
Like what?
Well, think about customer support, for example. Have you ever used a chatbot to get help with an app or service?
Oh, yeah. Actually, I had to use one just the other day.
And how was the experience?
It was actually pretty helpful. I was surprised.
That's NLP in action.
Really?
Chatbots powered by NLP can understand your questions and provide solutions, often without you ever needing to talk to a human.
That's amazing.
It's all about making the user experience as smooth and effortless as possible.
It definitely beats being put on hold for hours.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So it sounds like AI is doing a lot more than just making apps easier to use.
Right, it's actually adding a whole new level of functionality.
So what are some of the other key features that are transforming the mobile app landscape?
Well, we're seeing some incredible advancements in areas like image recognition and predictive analytics.
Well, image recognition, that's like being able to deposit a check by taking a photo with your phone.
Right? Exactly. That's a great example.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's incredible how AI is making everyday tasks so much quicker and simpler. But it goes even further. Think about facial recognition for unlocking your phone,
Right.
or apps that can identify plants and animals just by snapping a picture.
Wow. So AI isn't just making things easier, it's actually adding completely new functionality to apps.
Exactly.
Okay. And what about predictive analytics?
Predictive analytics leverages data to anticipate your needs, sometimes even before you realize you have them.
Okay.
Let's say you use a music streaming app.
Okay.
Based on your listening history, the AI can create personalized playlists or recommend artists you might enjoy.
So it's like the app is learning your taste in music.
Exactly. It's all about using data to create a more personalized and engaging experience.
It's like having a personal DJ.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've talked about AI's impact in general, but I'm curious to see how this is playing out in specific industries.
Yeah, let's dive into that next.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so where are we seeing AI make the biggest impact?
Yeah.
I think one area is healthcare.
Healthcare.
Yeah, there are apps out there like Babylon Health that use AI to analyze symptoms and offer potential guidance. So it's like having a virtual doctor right in your pocket.
Wow, that's incredible. So you're telling me that my phone can now diagnose me?
Well, not quite diagnose, but it can definitely help you make more informed decisions about your health.
Oh, okay, so it's more like a guide than an actual doctor.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I mean, think about it. It could be really useful for people who live in rural areas
Yeah.
or who have limited access to healthcare.
That's a really good point. So it's not just about convenience, it's also about accessibility.
Exactly. And of course, it goes way beyond just symptom checking.
Oh, yeah. What else can it do?
Well, AI is being used to personalize treatment plans,
Okay.
analyze medical images,
Wow.
and even assist with drug discovery.
So it's like AI is transforming healthcare from the ground up.
It really is. And I think we're only just scratching the surface of what's possible.
That's exciting and a little bit scary at the same time.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
So what about other industries besides healthcare?
Well, retail and e-commerce are also being revolutionized by AI. Remember those personalized shopping experiences we talked about?
Yeah, like the app that knows my style and recommends outfits.
Exactly. Well, they're becoming increasingly sophisticated.
So how does that work?
Well, AI can analyze your past purchases, your browsing history, your social media activity,
Okay.
and even things like the weather and your location
Wow.
to create a highly personalized shopping experience.
So it's like the app is becoming my personal stylist.
In a way, yes.
Mm.
And it's not just about recommending products you'll like.
Okay.
AI can also be used to optimize pricing, manage inventory, and even personalize marketing campaigns.
So it's a win-win for both shoppers and businesses.
Exactly. And I think we're going to see even more innovation in this space in the years to come.
That's cool. What about finance?
Finance is another area where AI is having a big impact.
How so?
Well, there are apps that use AI to help people budget, invest, and even detect potential fraud.
Wow. So my phone can be my financial advisor now.
Well, it's not quite that simple, but it can definitely provide you with some valuable insights. Apps like Mint and Robinhood can analyze your spending patterns and offer personalized financial advice.
So it's like having a personal accountant in my pocket.
Exactly. And they can also help you track your investments and make smarter financial decisions.
That's really helpful, especially for people who aren't financially savvy.
Right. And I think these apps are only going to get better as AI continues to evolve.
So we've talked about healthcare, retail, and finance. What are some other industries where AI is making a big impact?
Well, AI is also being used in transportation, education, entertainment, and pretty much every other industry you can think of.
Wow, it sounds like AI is everywhere.
It really is, and I think it's only going to become more pervasive in the years to come.
So what does the future hold for AI in mobile apps?
Well, the future is incredibly exciting. One of the biggest trends we're seeing is the convergence of AI and augmented reality, or AR.
AR like Pokemon Go.
Exactly. But imagine AR being used to create virtual fitting rooms where you can try on clothes without leaving your house.
That would be amazing.
Or apps that can translate text in real time just by pointing your phone's camera at it.
Wow, that sounds like something straight out of a sci-fi movie.
It does, doesn't it? And the possibilities are really endless.
That's incredible. So what other trends are you seeing?
Another major trend is Edge AI, where data is processed locally on your device instead of in the cloud.
So instead of sending my data to some giant server farm, it's all happening right on my phone.
Exactly.
What's the advantage of that?
Well, for one thing, it's much faster. Processing data locally significantly reduces lag time, which is essential for things like real-time language translation or AR experiences.
Oh, okay.
And it also improves privacy since your data isn't being sent to a third party.
That's a good point.
So Edge AI is a really exciting development with a lot of potential.
It sounds like it was, so we've covered a lot of ground here. Is there anything else we should be aware of as AI becomes even more integrated into our mobile apps?
Well, I think it's important to remember that with all of this innovation, there are also some potential risks.
Uh,
Well, as AI systems become more sophisticated, we need to make sure that they are developed and used responsibly.
so it's not just about making apps smarter, it's about making sure that they are used ethically.
Exactly. We need to ensure that AI is used for good and not for harm.
That's a really important point. So how can we do that?
Well, it starts with awareness.
Hmm.
We need to be aware of the potential risks of AI, and we need to demand that companies use AI in a responsible way.
So it's about being informed and making conscious choices about the technology we use.
Exactly. And it's also about having a conversation about the future of AI and how we want it to shape our lives.
Yeah, it really does feel like we're on the verge of something big here.
It is, and it's happening so fast.
It is so. You know, what I want to encourage our listeners to do is start paying attention
Yeah.
to how this is impacting their lives every day.
It's easy to just take it for granted, you
Yeah.
know? But I think if you really stop and think about it, you'll be amazed at how much AI is already a part of your daily routine.
Right, like when you're listening to music
Yeah.
and Spotify just recommends the perfect song.
Exactly. Or when your navigation app knows that there's traffic on your usual route
Right.
and finds you a detour.
Yeah, those are all things that are powered by AI.
It's true, and it's only going to get more sophisticated.
Yeah, so next time you open your favorite app, think about all the AI magic that's happening behind the scenes.
Right, all those personalized recommendations, those smooth interactions, those intelligent features, it's all thanks to AI.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing, and I think a lot of people don't realize how much AI is already a part of their lives.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's not just about making our lives easier or more convenient.
Right.
It's also about solving some of the world's biggest problems.
Oh, yeah. Like how?
Well, think about healthcare, for example.
Okay.
AI is being used to develop new drugs and treatments, to diagnose diseases earlier, and to
Okay.
provide more personalized care.
Wow. So AI is literally saving lives.
It really is, and that's just one example.
Right.
AI is also being used to address climate change, to improve education, to make our cities smarter and safer.
That's incredible. It sounds like AI has the potential to make the world a better place.
I believe it does, and I think it's important that we all have a role to play in shaping the future of AI.
Yeah. What can we do?
Well, first of all, we need to stay informed. We need to understand how AI works and what its potential benefits and risks are.
Okay.
We also need to be thoughtful about the data we share and the choices we make online.
Right.
And we need to demand that companies use AI in a responsible and ethical way.
So it's about being aware and engaged.
Exactly. The future of AI is not something that's going to happen to us. It's something that we're all going to create together.
Well said. So as we wrap up this deep dive, what's the one thing you want our listeners to take away?
I want them to remember that AI is a tool, and like any tool, it can be used for good or for bad.
Right.
It's up to us to decide how we want to use it.
That's a powerful thought. Thank you so much for joining me on this deep dive into the world of AI and mobile apps.
It's been a pleasure.
And to our listeners, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time for another deep dive into the world of technology.